concepts of the MySQL. First concept related to the MySQL is the database concepts. In this, we will learn what is the database and why do we use the database. Database is nothing but it is a computerized record keeping system. Earlier, we were maintaining everything in the form of registers, but after that, we have made everything, we have put everything in the computer to make it a digital so that later on we can refer it, because when we were maintaining that information in the form of registers or in the form of pages, there are more chances for that theft or other person can take it from one place to another place. Then we have to bear the transport charges also. But when we started storing the information in a digital manner, then it becomes easier for us to store the information, and then we don't have to think about how we can transfer it. We can digitally transfer to other person also within a fraction of minutes also. So this is nothing in the database. We are storing everything in the form of tables. Why we are storing everything in the form of tables? Because in the tables, everything, when we are storing, the information is stored in the structured manner. And when we are retrieving it, when we want to fetch or extract the information, then it will be easier for us to extract it. That is why we are storing in the form of database. So we are using another term is DBMS, database management system. Why we are using the word management? Because when we are storing the information, spelling of management is not correct. When we are storing the information, then there are chances that we have to do the changes also in the existing data. We have to add the new data. We have to delete the data. That is why we have used the word management. That means you are doing some changes in the entered data. System is a software. Through the software, we are storing the information in a systematic manner. That is why we are using the word database management system. There are different type of softwares that we are using for this. Earlier we were using DBase, FoxPro. Nowadays we are not using these things. Oracle is a different separate industry that is storing the information, that help us to store the information in a structured manner. MySQL is a part of that particular entire software. In that, MySQL is a just a application. MySQL server is we are using in the all e-commerce based website also. MS Access, Microsoft also provided one software that is also providing us to store the information in a tabular manner, and we can do the changes and do the manipulation in that also. In our course, we are using the software MySQL. It is an independent software available in the in the internet also. We can independently download it. If you want to download separately, so instead of going for a particular website, suppose I am opening Google, and then if you are just typing that I have to download the MySQL free download, then it will take you to the original website. There you can download it also. If you don't want to use the same thing, because it is a little bit a heavier version which is available on the net also, but if you want to download the lighter version, for that you can go to the ces2study.com, and in that I have uploaded the software so that you can download according to the bit of your operating system. Then let's go further. What is the why we are using it? Because database, in this data means we are storing the information in a computer. It is in this we are organizing the data in a systematic manner. Information is stored in the form of tables. That means it is we are using the rows and columns. In this, why we are storing? So that we can extract the information and we can make a report and the generate according to the particular question conditions. We can retrieve the information from the stored data. So I think you have understood the concept. Database means computerized record keeping software. There are two different types of softwares that we are using. And one is RDBMS. RDBMS means Relational Database Management System. Why we are using the word R? R means we are using the concept of multiple tables and we are linking the multiple tables with each other. That is why we have used the word relational. Database, you have understood, storing the information in a computer, and we are doing the changes in that particular software or entered data, and with the help of software we are using it. In that we are linking multiple tables. That is why we are using the term RDBMS. In that these are the softwares that we are using it. ORDBMS is an object-based relational database management system. Oracle company is providing it. In that we are working on the minute or smaller part also, and according to that we are relating the multiple things. Only the Oracle industry is providing the or linking the database, linking the multiple tables based on the data, smaller part, smaller cell part information. Why do we need, why earlier we were maintaining everything in the form of register, and then what's the use to store the information in the computer so that we can reduce the duplicacy. When we were maintaining the information in the form of files, there were chances that we can manually, when we were entering the information manually, there are more chances that we can enter the same information again. So while storing the information in a computerized manner, so it reduces the duplicacy, redundancy. It facilitates the sharing of data. We can easily share our data also. It provides the security. We can provide the password also, and according to based on the stored data, we can put some rules and condition. Accordingly, it will retrieve the information, or while storing the information, we can put the condition like the age cannot be less than 0. We cannot enter the date in a different manner. So, or when you are entering the marks or salary cannot be in the negative form. These are the different types of rules that we can specify when we are storing the information digitally. Relational database, basically in that we are collective. It is a collective set of multiple data sets organized by tables, records, and columns. Earlier we have discussed that in the relational database we can store or we can link the multiple tables with each other. So that is why in this relational database we are storing the information in the form of tables, and in the tables we are storing the information in the form of records, or you can say rows and columns form. It establishes a well-defined relationship between the database tables. It uses the structured query language. This is the language because we are discussing the concept of the languages, different type of languages, software we are using. When we are dealing with any software, we have to use a particular type of language so that we can interact with that software. So for the relational database, we are using the language which we are giving a name is structured query language. And MySQL is just a software that help us to use that language. We can use the SQL language in this MySQL software. SQL, what is SQL? It is a structured query language. Full form of the language is, it is a standard user application that provides an easy programming interface for database interaction. With the help of this language, we can write the command easily so that we can develop our own digital database. When we are storing the information in a related database, we are using these 6 terms. First is the relation. These are the terms: relation, domain, tuples, attributes, degree, and cardinality. Let's discuss all these things in detail. What is the relation? Relation is nothing but a name of the table we are using. It is a collection of rows and columns, and we are also called a table. Relation is nothing but another name of a table. So here we have, this is the example. In this we have mentioned this is the relation. That means this is the table, and in this table we have stored the information. I think you have understood the concept of relation. Relation is nothing but a table, and in the table we are storing the information in the form of rows and columns. Another term is attribute. Attribute is another name of a column. A column in a relation is called an attribute. This is the another term. Either we can use the word column, or in a relation database we are using the word attribute. It is also called a field or column. You can see in the relation table, student relation, there are 5 columns, and these are the attribute names of the table student. So roll number is an attribute, admission number is an attribute, name is an attribute, stream is an attribute, and phone is the attribute. All these are the name of the attribute, or you can say name of the column. Next term is degree. How many columns we have created according to the, for that we are using the word degree. Degree means number of columns that we have created in a particular relation or table. In this table, we have created 5 columns. So degree will be 5. If you are creating a table where you are just specifying 3 or 2 columns, that means the degree of that particular table will be 2 or 3. So here, roll number, admission number, name, stream, and phone, total degree, total number of columns in this table is 5. All these questions are coming in your exams also. We will discuss the question after later. Next term is tuple. Tuple means a row in a table is called a tuple. So here you can say we have, there is a relation named as student. We have created 5 attributes in that particular relation, and these are the records that we have stored in this relation, in this table. So so instead of using the word rows or records, we are using the term tuple. Either you can use the word row or record, but in the exam they will ask you what is tuple. Tuple means a row. How many rows you have created. The row in a table is called a tuple. Next is cardinality. Cardinality is how many rows you have created in a table. Earlier we have discussed degree concept. Now is the cardinality. Here in this table I have created 6 records. That means cardinality of this table is 6. How many rows or records you have stored or created in that particular table comes under the cardinality concept. Next is the domain. Domain means it is a pool of value, means what type of value you have stored in a particular column comes under the domain category. In this stream column, I have entered 3 different type of information. That means domain of the stream column will be science, commerce, and humanities. There are 3 types of information. If I am talking about the domain of the name column, so there are domain is Tina, Sheena, Hina, Meena, Leena, and Reena. All these 6, this is the domain of the name column. Domain means what type of values you have entered in that particular column comes under the domain category. It is a pool of value from which the value is derived. That means the multiple values or the collection of the values that you have stored in a particular column. We are using the word domain. You can see science, commerce. I can use the size also, so that it will be easier. Okay. Next is the relational database term. Now you can collectively find out if these are the S hash, S name, status, and the city. These are the nothing but these are the attributes of the column. And this combine, when we are combining, we are using the word, this is the relation. How many tuples you have created? S1, this is the S1 Anil, 2 Jaipur, this is the tuple of the table. S2 Vishal, 1 Delhi, this is also a tuple. So these are the records of the table tuples. And when we are collecting, counting, all these rows comes under the cardinality part. Here it is specified attribute S hash, S name, status, and city. All these are the attribute of this relation, and degree is of this table is 4. How many columns that we have created in this table comes under the degree part. And here it is specified S hash. Under the S hash column, how many values you have specified comes under the domain category. In the status part, what are the different types of values you have stored comes under the domain of the status column. In the city column, what are the different types of values I have stored in this particular column comes under the domain category. In the city column, uh, domain of the city column is Jaipur, Delhi, Chennai, Kolkata, and Guwahati are the domain of the city column. I think you have understood the concept of what is the degree and tuple and why, what is the cardinality and what is the domain of that particular column. Now moves to another concept is the key. Key means that means each and every lock has a key, the same thing. If we want to identify or maintain the uniqueness in the table, or you can say if we have to stop the duplicacy in a particular table, for that we have to use the concept of the key. It is used for identifying unique rows from the table and establishes the relationship among tables on need. That means it is with the help of keys we can maintain the uniqueness in the table, or you can say we can reduce the duplicacy in the table. So there are four types of keys concept we are using it. First is the candidate key, another is the term primary key, then alternate key, and then the foreign key concept. Let's discuss in detail also. Candidate key. It is any column or a set of columns that can uniquely identify a row in a table. Spelling is. A table can have multiple candidate keys. You can see from this table that whenever we are specifying the candidate key or we are thinking about the candidate key, so then we have to think about okay, what are the different types of columns that we have created in a table, and we have to see whether those columns are maintaining the uniqueness in the table or not. Here you can say roll number. Each and every student in the school, we are assigning a unique roll number. Whether the name of the students is same, but the roll number will be different for each and every student. Or you can say admission number, we are assigning unique to each and every student. So in this table, we can say these two are the candidate keys. That means these two tables maintain the uniqueness in the entire table, and if we are fixing a particular column as a main thing, so then it will maintain the uniqueness in the entire table. The main concept of the keys are to maintain the uniqueness in the table so that no duplicate records can store in the table. So there can you can say take an example of election also. There are so many candidates are giving their name. That means there are that that fulfill the criteria to become a something. So the same way in a table, there can be multiple columns that are fulfilling the criteria to maintain the uniqueness. That is why we are using the word candidate keys. A table can have multiple candidate keys, and all these columns that maintain the uniqueness. When we are thinking about the candidate keys, then we are searching for a column. Is there any column in a table that can maintain the uniqueness for rest of the columns information? If we have no column, then we have to create a column that can maintain the uniqueness in the table. Let's move to another concept of primary key. Primary key means if we have two columns for the time being, it is a candidate key. It is a part of the candidate key that is selected to be a main identifier for the table. It also uniquely identifies the record or tuple in a table or relation. This key can never be duplicated and null. A table can have only one primary key. And from this table, you can consider it. If there are two columns that holds the uniqueness in the table, but for the time being, we can make only one column as a primary key. That is up to us as a programmer, whether we are choosing this as a roll number as a primary key, or we can consider the admission number as a primary key. It is up to us. First, we are storing or maintaining the primary key in the particular column. Then another column fulfills the same criteria, but for the time being, we have just made one column as a primary key. When we are maintaining or fixing any column, जैसे suppose बहुत सारे लोग candidate के लिए खड़े हुए हैं, all are fulfilling the criteria, but we have to select only one person as a prime ministerial candidate or the president candidate or the particular leader as a leadership candidate. For the among multiple people, we just have to select only one person. So the same thing goes with the primary key concept also. If multiple columns fulfilling the same criteria to maintain the uniqueness in the table, then we just have to select one column as a primary key, so that according to that particular column, we can maintain the uniqueness in the table. And this column can never be duplicated, can never be blank also. And there is only a one column that we can fix as a primary key. Next is the difference of the candidate key and primary key. This is the question that comes many times in the exam also. Both candidate key and primary key guarantee the uniqueness of the records. A primary key is chosen from the available candidate key. Primary key is also a part of the candidate key, but we just have selected that. A table can have multiple candidate keys, but can only have one primary key. Next is the alternate key. Suppose when we have selected roll number as a primary key, then what about the another column that also fulfills the criteria to become the primary key? Then we have used the word alternate key. Alternate keys are the candidate keys that are not chosen as the primary key. A table can have multiple alternate keys also. Okay. And now we can go about the brief of candidate keys are those columns that uniquely identify is records in a table. Primary key is the chosen candidate key for uniquely identifying rows, and alternate keys are the remaining candidate keys that are not the primary key but can maintain the uniqueness in the table. Please read and thoroughly memorize the definition or the concept of the candidate key, primary key, and alternate key, because 99% the difference between these things, or define primary key, what is the primary key, these type of questions are coming in the theory paper. Next is the last key is the foreign key. Foreign key, that means we are considering as a foreigner. You can use the same concept for the foreign key. It is defined as the primary key in some another table. You can take it as that this is our own country and this is the another neighboring country. So when in the neighboring country, the particular table is, this column is holding the uniqueness in this table. But when we are referring the same column in our own country, that means this column we can consider it as a foreign key. And foreign key, when we are referring to the main table, that can hold the multiple values, duplicate and same repeated value. But when we are talking about the main in the relation another table, this column will holds the unique value. तो फॉरेन की का कॉन्सेप्ट क्या है? फॉरेन की फॉरेन की किसके कॉन्टेक्स्ट में है? फ्रॉम द अनदर टेबल कॉन्सेप्ट, ओरिजिनल टेबल में से नहीं. We are talking about the foreign key का मतलब that we are using the some another person or some another column in our table so that we can establish the link between both the tables. तो foreign key का सबसे easy क्या concept क्या है? To establish the link between multiple tables. For that we are using the foreign key concept. Foreign key is a primary key, but in another table, if we are using the same column in our table, and for that we are using the term is foreign key. Here you can say T and no. This column is a foreign key, work as a foreign key in the student table, but actually this column is a primary key in the test table. Okay, and why we are using the foreign key concept? So that we can link between the table, establish the link between the table. दो tables के बीच में how you will establish the link. So there should be something common in both the tables. तो common के लिए we have to use the foreign key concept. Either you can use the roll number. This column we have made as a primary key. This either you can use the roll number in this table, then roll number will become the foreign key in the relation test. Let's discuss questions related to this. Observe the following table and answer the question. These type of questions are coming in your theory exams also. Write the name of the most appropriate column which can be considered as a candidate keys. We have discussed candidate keys are those keys that maintain the uniqueness. So according to that, we can consider visitor ID is holding the unique value in the table. So visitor ID can be a candidate key. Contact number also, you can say it. Okay, in the real life also, contact number is unique for each and every person. Phone number is these two columns can be a candidate key. So answer of this first question is visitor ID and contact number. Next is out of selected candidate key, which one will be best to choose as a primary key? We will consider it as a visitor ID. Why? Because to memorize or to enter the values will be easier for us instead of entering the 10 digits. Then there can be changes. There can be and while entering we can make the mistakes also. ठीक है, तो आंसर will of second will be visitor ID. What is the degree and cardinality? Degree means number of columns. How many columns we have created? 1, 2, 3. So degree of this table is 3. Cardinality is number of rows. The number of records means B001. This is the record 1, 2, 3, 4. So their cardinality of this table will be 4. When you are considering the cardinality, please do not consider the heading of the table. That means you don't have to consider the name of the column. So here is the degree of this table is 3 and cardinality of this table is 4. Next, this is the another question. Modern public school is maintaining fee records of students. The database administrator Aman decided that name of the database is school, name of the table is fee. The attribute of the fees are, attribute means different type of columns of this table fee are roll number, name, class, fee and quarter. Then first question is identify the attribute best suitable to be declared as a primary key. Then we can pick the roll number because according to the roll number we can maintain the uniqueness in the entire table. What will be the degree of the table? How many columns we have created? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So degree of this table will be 5. Define attribute and cardinality. So attribute is, you can write the exam definition. Attribute is another name of a column in a table. Cardinality is number of rows in a table is called cardinality. These type of questions are coming in your exams. Now next question is write SQL commands for the following based on the relation product and client. First question is, this is the table product and this is the table client. First question we will consider, identify the attribute best suitable to be declared as a primary key from the product table. From the product table, which column we can consider it as a best? So PID will be the attribute that we can fix as a primary key in the product table. So answer of first will be P underscore ID. Next is identify the foreign key and primary key from the table client. When we are thinking about the client table, we have to consider C underscore ID is the primary key of this table client, but we have used the P underscore ID in the client table also as a reference. So here P underscore ID will become the foreign key in the client table, but actually P underscore ID is the primary key of the product table. Next, write the degree and cardinality of the table product. So first degree is how many columns we have created. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So degree will be 5 and cardinality is how many records we have entered in that table. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So cardinality, that means 5 records we have created in this table product. So answer degree is 5 and cardinality is 5. I think With the help of these questions, you have understood the concept. These are the questions are coming in your board theory exams also. I think you have understood the concept. Let's move to the all these are the theory part. We will discuss all these things in the practical concept of the SQL part. This is the theory part. Now let's move to the MySQL commands. Here we will discuss all these things in detail. The first MySQL command, what is the use, why we are using it. First, we will discuss all these things. What is the use of the MySQL features? This is the question that can come in the theory paper. What is the features of the MySQL? It is a standard language which we have developed and used for accessing and modifying relational databases. It is a language. We are using the software MySQL, and in the MySQL we are using the language, and the language name is SQL, and it helps us to access, that means use and change the linked information which we have stored in the form of tables. Relation means linked tables, modifying, that means change, accesses means to use it. Different types of softwares, this SQL language we can use in these softwares also. Oracle, in the Oracle software also, in MySQL also, in SQLite, in all these softwares we can use the structured query language. Features of the MySQL is, this is the software, and here we are discussing the feature of this MySQL software. It is an open source, that means it is available freely on the net. We have discussed also, when you will just type MySQL download, it will take you to the original website. That means it is a freely available software. That is why we have used the word open source. Multi-user, that means multiple people can use it. Multi-threaded, we can use multiple windows and open the database in that, and we can manage it also. It is a more popular language on the web. 99% when you are submitting anything on the net, it will get stored in the software, and 99% companies are using MySQL software to store the information digitally. Where we are storing, when we are filling any form anywhere digitally, if we are filling any form, the information will get stored somewhere, where it will stored in the software. In software, the software is stored using the tabular structure. So MySQL helps us to store the information digitally in a structured manner. It is the very important popular part of the LAMP platform. There we are using Linux, Apache, MySQL, and PHP basically in the websites, all the websites or the internet where we are storing the information digitally. There are few features of the, it is available open source, that means available freely on the net. It is free of cost. You don't have to pay any money to use it. Portable, we can use it within a fraction of second. It will stored in your database also. When you are opening it, you can provide the password also. And the connectivity, we can connect the MySQL with other applications also. We will discuss in after that also how we can link the MySQL software with the Python also. So these are the features of the MySQL. Portable, that means it is easier for us to install it lighter in version. MySQL for more features is a query language that we have discussed. The language we are using to interact with this MySQL software is the structured query language for handling the database. That means to store the information digitally. It is an interactive language. We can interact it through the commands. Here we are using the word command. That means you have to just give an instruction and computer gives us the information. Multiple data views. Here we are just discussing the simple view, but we can use the different types of environment also. No coding, basically you don't have to use the for loop, if condition, and other terms also. Simple structured language we are using it. And well-defined standards, here we can specify the multiple conditions also, and you don't have to go through complexities of the other commands. Different types of commands we are using in the structured query language. Commands means we just have to give the instruction in the form of different, right, in the form of commands. We are using the term commands instead of writing the code. First command name is DDL, data definition language. That means in this command, in this term, we are creating the structure. We are just giving the layout. You can see the register of your page, the first page of your register. There you can see if there is an index specified. In that index, it is mentioned serial number, topic, the page, signature. All these things we are creating in this DDL command. It helps us to create the structure of the layout, how many columns you want, what are the different types of columns, what are the different types of values you will enter in those columns. Because computer is a machine, we have to give instruction accordingly what type of value we have to enter in the name column. Are we are entering the number type of information or character type of information? For that we have to specify it, because machine can't understand according to the name. We have to specify the information accordingly. DML is the data manipulation language. Here we will insert the records into this. These type of questions are coming in your exam. What full form of the DDL is? Data definition language. It is used to create the database and table structures. Different types of command we are using: create, alter, and drop in that. DML is data manipulation language. In this we are performing the record related operations. Command like select, insert, delete, and update, we are using it. DCL is data control language. It is help us to manipulate or give the permission or access right to the tables. Command like grant and revoke, we are using in this. This is not in a course. You just have to memorize the grant and revoke term. TCL is a transaction control language. It is used to control the transaction. Transaction means when we are writing multiple commands in the computer. So in that, suppose I have written 10 lines. So in the computer term, we are using the word that I have written 10 transactions, that I have done 10 transactions. So to control after how many lines the computer will automatically save it, the information. For that we are using the word commit. That means permanently you want to save it. Rollback, that means we just want to do the undo what we have saved it. Or after a certain point, if you want to save the information, then you can use the command save point. All these things we will discuss in detail. Few are in your course or few are not. Different type of data types. What type of information we are storing it, accordingly we have to use the data type. First is the numeric. Numeric means numbers. In that we are specifying the integer that do not takes any decimal value. Next is the string. String means we are storing the information in the form of characters, and characters holds the numbers and different symbols also. In the string type of information, we can store the different type of information in the form of alphabets, numbers, and special characters. So time and date, these are the different data types. What we have, if we have to store the information in the decimal form also, for that we can use the float data type that we can discuss it here. These are the different data types. Integers, or you can use the word int. If you are not specifying any size, then it will take the total 11 digits without decimal. Small int can take 5 digits without decimal. Float, suppose when you are stuffing the information in marks or salary column, there you can use the decimal or float data type. Or for that, first specifies how many digits you want, and then D specifies how many you are fixing for decimal part. Here you can take an example. Here I have specified the 10 and 2. 2, that means I have fixed the total number. From the total number of digits, I am fixing 2 for decimal part. This is specifying 2. Total number of digits kitne? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. suppose 10 also. So for the total number of digits are 10 and I am fixing for only 2 for the decimal part. And date, when you are specifying the date, by default the date format in the, if you want to store the date, then you have to follow the same format. First 4 digits of the year, then you have to specify month, 2 digits of month, and then you have to specify 2 digits of date also. Then in time also 2 digits of hour, 2 digits of month, and 2 digits of seconds. In the character data type, it is taking 255 characters at a time. If we are not specifying how many characters I want to store in a particular column, then it will, by default, it will store 1. Variable varchar means variable character length. It is also storing 255 characters at a time. When you are storing the information in a date of joining, date of retiring, date of birth, for that, or you are storing the information in character or varchar also, you have to enclose the information in quotes, either in with single quote or in the double quote. Now next command, first we are using, this is the create database. Create command comes under the DDL category. Create, alter, and draw. First, we will discuss all these 3 commands in detail. First is the create command. Create, syntax of create command is the create database, database ka name, and here create database and database name. This is the example. First, we have created the database, then we have to select the database. Which one I just want to select it so that I can store the tables into it. Why there is a need to create the database? Because the same way, when you are writing in a loose manner on the pages, then you can't collect the information. The same thing when we are using any register, in the register there are multiple pages and you are giving a name to that particular register also. The database is nothing but a first cover page of the register, and in that you have multiple pages, and in those pages you can store your information in a structured manner. Let's open the MySQL environment and then discuss all the DDL commands and DML commands. Here I have stored, open the MySQL database, and we have discussed the feature that it is a portable, smaller in size, lighter in size, and it is provide the security. When you are opening the database, you have to provide the password also. And then first we will see how many databases are available in my uh, MySQL environment, because I have used this earlier also. So I have created so many databases in that. So I just want to explore it, how many databases are in this. So for that I have used show databases command. It will show me the different type of databases that I have created. There are different type of people hierarchy, MySQL, information schema, performance schema, test. All these are the available default databases. In that, I just created my own D1. If you want to create your own database, then you can use create your own database. Create database, database name. Suppose I am using it, database name. If you want to use the same thing, see whether your database has been created or not, you can again execute the show databases command. Now you can see your database, the database you have created, it is showing here also. Now, if you want to see, is there any table that you have already created in this database? For that, we can use the word use. That means I am picking or I am selecting a particular database so that I can create the table. This is the environment of the MySQL. First, you have to create the database. That means you have to specify the cover page of the database, means where you want to store your information digitally. And after that, you have to select the database so that you can create the tables inside it. You cannot create the table straight away. Suppose here I am selecting this database, and then I am just checking it whether whether there are tables inside it or not. So here I have used the show tables command. The same way you have used the show database command, I have used the show tables command. And now you can see when I am using the show tables command, it is showing me D1. What does D1 specifies? That means this is the table that is in which database? D1 database, because here I have used the database name. In this, we can identify in which database I have created this table. Now, because I have created my own table, these type of questions are coming in your exams. Write a command or write the command that will display all the databases stored in your MySQL. So then you have to write the answer is show databases. What are the command that will show all the tables stored in your database? Then you have to use show tables command. Now I'm at any point of time you can change the database also. Now I am selecting DD database. In that I can see whether there are tables or not, because I have just created this database. So there are no tables inside it. Now this much we have done it, how we can select the database and how we can create the database. After that, show databases we have done, how we can use the show tables command also. Let's create how we can create our own table inside it. For that, syntax of the table is create table, table name. Suppose here I am using a EMP table. This is the name of the table. You can follow the syntax also. Just write it down the syntax and then you can just fill the information according to the syntax. Create table, table name. I'm just reducing the size so that you can fill the information according to the syntax. It is mentioned create table, table name. I have mentioned create table, table name. After that, it is mentioned column name. The column, I am just specifying employee number. After that, it is mentioned data type. We have discussed what are the different data types. Integer we have, float we have, char we have. Employee number holds only the integer type of information. For that, I am specifying int. Either you can use the integer, the full word, or you can use the, here you can see, either you can use the integer or int word. Now I am specifying how many values, how many digits I will store in this table. So for that, either you can specify 3, 4, how many digits you want to store in that particular column, or if you don't want, then you can leave the column as in this way also. Here I am specifying 4. After that, I am specifying employee name. Employee name stores the character type of information. For that, I can use char also. Char means it will fix the number of values. Suppose if I am entering Manish, Manish holds how many characters? MANISH, 6 characters. Here I have fixed 30. Irrespective of the Manish holds only 6 characters. What about rest of the space? It will fix the 30 space for that particular column. Whether you are entering less number of the character, irrespective of the values, it will store the fixed 30 characters in your column. Suppose if I am using the varchar, that means variable character length correct data type. That means it will store the variations. It will not hold the fixed 30 characters for your column. If you are entering less value in that particular column, then it will release rest of the space. That means Manish holds only 6 characters. It will store only 6 characters, and then rest of the 24 characters, it will release. It will not hold 30 fixed size each and every time. Suppose next time employee number I am entering Pooja. Pooja just enter holds only 5 characters. It will store only 5 characters amount space, and then it will be released by the system. So it is up to you whether you want to use char data type or you can use varchar for better memory utilization. Next, I am using it salary. Cell column. Cell column can take decimal information also. For that, either you can use decimal or you can use float. How many digits I want to store? Suppose I just want to store 8 digits, and in that I can store 2 for decimal part. So 8 means how many values? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this much number of digits I can enter in the particular column. Okay. Next is the designation, or you can say designation. Designation, that means whether the person is analyst, clerk, designer, production manager, anything. Accordingly, you can specify the values. Here I am specifying 30 for this. Is there any other thing that you want to store it? Later on, we will think about what we can enter it. Now, after that, we can close it. Constraint we will discuss later on also. Constraint specifies the different type of conditions that we can specify in that particular column. Suppose here I just have to specify that I have to create the primary key, this column. For that, we can specify the primary key in this way also. So same column name, data type, size, and then primary key, the constant that you can specify. We will discuss in detail later on what are the different type of conditions we can specify. The constraints are nothing but the different type of conditions that we can put in a particular column so that it will maintain the uniqueness or reduces the duplicacy in the table. For the time being, I'm just not specifying it, but here you can specify it also. After that, just as many columns you want to specify it, each and every column information, this much we have completed it, separate with comma. This column specification I have completed it, separate with comma. This column specification I have completed it, then specify with the comma also, and designation. After completing all the things, because you have started the bracket here, then close it also. And in the SQL environment, each and everything is terminated with a semicolon. Semicolon means you have completed the command, and then you can just press it also. Now you can see above also, when I have used DD also, I have used semicolon. When I have used show tables, I have used semicolon. That means in the SQL environment, in the SQL language, when we are completing any task for, and at the end we are using the semicolon. If we are not putting, that means according to the system, the command is not completed yet. Okay. After that, once we have created the table, after that there is a need to see the structure of the table. For that, we will use the command describe. Describe command is just to see the structure of the table. So either you can use the word describe table name, or you can use the first 4 letter of the describe command name and then specify the table name. Here we can use describe. I've written incorrectly. Describe. Either write the full name, describe emp, then semicolon. It will show, or you can use describe emp semicolon. In this way, we can use the command just to see the structure. Emp, this is my table, and this column will hold only the 4 digits of integer type. This e name will hold the character type of information, and which is of 30 characters. Salary will store this type of information. Now later on, I have created the table. Now after that, I am realizing now that I have to add one more column in this date of joining that I forgot. For that, what we can do, we can use, there is one more DDL command is the alter command. The alter command is alter table. यहाँ पर it has, now it is showing here कि insert the records. Now alter command. I don't know where I have specified. Just let's discuss later on. Here it is specified only the insert command. Let's discuss alter command. I think I just kept it. The alter command is just to alter means I am doing some manipulation. So first I am fixing on how I can change, I can add a new column. For that, command is alter table. table name, and then add. I just want to add a new column, bracket start, and specify the column name. Suppose here I just want to DOJ, date of joining of that particular employee, and specify the date data type. In the bracket, you don't have to specify anything because here date is not taking anything in the form of characters, and just put semicolon and just complete. Now you can see the structure of the table, and you can see each and every time whenever you are adding a new column, it will get added at the end of the previous columns, at the end of the table. Okay. Now there is a need, suppose I have to change the information related to the table. For that, again, I'll use the alter command. Alter is a DDL command. First command of DDL is create. Second command of DDL is alter. Now I have added it. Now there is a requirement that I have to change the structure. For that, alter table name, then modify. Suppose modify में हमने क्या करना है? We just have to change. Suppose I am just changing employee number, instead of taking int 4, I am just changing it to 5. Now you can see now the change data type from 4, it has been changed to 5. Now there is a requirement that I have to delete a particular column. For that, I have to, suppose I have created it, later on I'm realizing I have to delete it. For that, again, we will use alter. Alter means each and every time we are doing some changes from the table. So emp drop column name. Either you can use the word column, or you can straight away specify the column name. Suppose I am just deleting drop dog. So then it will delete. You can see it now. The column has been deleted now. Clear? Now again I am adding it because I have to enter some records related to it. Okay. Again I have added it. Now there is a requirement that I have to later on realizing that DESIG designation, it's not looking so understandable that later on we are realizing that I have to change the name of the column. For that we can use and then rename, or you can use change. Rename ले लेते, rename, and then old column name, suppose designation DESIG, and then I'm specifying new column name designation and specify the data type char 30. Change लेते हैं, rename is not working here. Change, spelling of changes, and then you can see the name of the column has been changed. Clear? Alter table name, change old name of that particular column, new name of that particular column, data type that you have fixed for the when you have created that column. Clear? Now alter command we can use in 4 ways also. We can use the alter command to add a new column, and then we can use the alter command to delete a particular column, delete the column. We can use the alter command to change the size of particular column. Once we have fixed, later on we want to reduce or increase the size of particular column, then we can use it also. And if there is a requirement to change the name of that particular column, for that we can also use for alter command. So there are 4 different types of 4 ways we can use the alter command. Now there is a requirement that now I have created the table, I've done everything. Suppose I have to delete the table. For that I can use drop table and table name. For that the table has been deleted now. For that I am just not deleting it. I am just changing it to another database. Here I am just thinking about the another table, show tables, that we have seen, and then you can delete this table also. Drop table name. Suppose I am deleting it. Now if you will see, So there is no table. The same way, if you want to delete the database, so I'm just deleting D1 database, because in the D1 database there is a table student which that I have deleted. Drop table name. If I have to delete a particular database, so specify drop database keyword and then database name. Now you can delete it also. Now if you want, if you will see, when you will display the all the databases list, you can see there is no database exist because you have deleted it. Now again we are going inside the database and we are just checking the our own table. Clear? Now we will insert the records into this table. To insert the record in this table, we will use the insert command, and there are two ways to insert the records into it. First is to insert the records in all the columns. To insert the records in all the columns, for that, what we have to see, we just have to know the structure of the table. This is the table structure. First is the employee number, and accordingly we have to store the information. So let's go according to the syntax. Insert into table name is emp. Just go according to the syntax. You just don't have to do anything else. Just memorize the syntax and then start putting the value. Insert into table name values and then start putting the value the way you have specified the column. First is the employee number. What type of information? Integer. Just specify it. Then again, ename, column name, information is character type, then put in quotes. Name is Smith. Next, salary in the decimal form. You can just specify your salary. Now computer will calculate accordingly how the computer has to put decimal. Next is the designation is of the character type. Just put in quote. This is manager. And then DOJ. DOJ means date of joining. You just have to put in quotes and just specify DD, sorry, Y 4 times, date, sorry, 4 times Y, 2 times month, and 2 times date. And then after that, just complete it. What I have did, I just put the values according to the syntax. Insert into table name, values, bracket start, put the values in the same order you have created the table, and then put semicolon. You have created the table. Now there is another also. To multiple records, we can store the information. Suppose I just want to put the multiple values, then specify to. Here you can specify another name, code, specify some another value, then specify some another designation, and then specify some another thing. And then if you want to put one more value, just put a comma, then start bracket, and then start putting some another value, Blake. And then I'm specifying another, and then analyst हो गया, then production, design, developer, DEV, developer, and then date of joining 2022, comma 2 digits of month, and then 2 digits of date. Then put bracket and then semicolon. Here you can see you have stored the multiple values. Clear? Third way also, I've just put the values according to the syntax. Clear? Now there is one more command that we have to insert the records into the specific values. So you just have to enter the values into the specific columns. Insert into table name And then you have to specify the columns name where you want to enter the information. Suppose I just want to enter employee number, then employee name, and then I'm just putting designation, and then but only in these three columns I just want to enter, and then specify the values. I'm just going according to the syntax, nothing else. Just start putting the value. First is the employee number, then name, then specify the designation. Suppose here I'm specifying designation. So just put the values according to the syntax, and then it will start getting adding into the particular column. अब हो गया. अब now there is a requirement. Insert command is the DML command. Create, alter, drop are the DDL command. That means they are focusing only on the structure of the table. How we can create the table, what are the different types of columns, if we have to add a new column, change the column specification in the form of size, name, delete a particular column. So that means we are focusing only on the structure part. Now the commands are related to DML, data manipulation language. That means there we are focusing on the records part, how we can insert the records into it, how we can change the record into it. If we have to delete something, then how we can do the things. So accordingly, we can do the things also. So after that, DML command, there is a one more command is select. Select command is used to display the structure, display the entered information. Here I've used select command. Syntax is select. Star means I am displaying all the columns of the table from which the table name. And then just put enter. Now you can see next is select command. It is used to display or print record. Syntax is there we are displaying all the columns. We have to use select star from table name, select star from table name. If we have to display the specific columns, for that we can display it. Clear? Here we have entered. Now you can see I have entered fourth record also, but in that I have just entered the information into specific columns. Clear? Now there is a need that I am just displaying, instead of displaying all the columns, I am just displaying only specific columns, e-name from EMP. Then it will display only these two specific columns. Suppose if I am just specifying what are the different type of designation are, for that I can display the designations. So it is up to you whether you want to display all the columns or you want to display the specific columns also. What if I have to enter the information into the blank column where I've skipped the value? Because here we are doing some changes. For that we will use the command update. Acha, where they have added it. Where it is update. So now we will discuss how we can, let's discuss according to the syntax also. If we have to use the select command and if we have to specify the conditions also. Suppose in this select command, if we have to display the records according to the condition, where here we are not using any for loop where if condition, we are using the, or to specify the condition, we are using the keyword where then we have to specify the column where salary is greater than 40,000. Then it will display the records accordingly. So where we are using so many times, where to specify the records with the condition. Syntax is select star. Either you can display all the columns and specify the condition values. What do you want to display? Suppose if I am displaying that where the e name should be Smith, then it will display Smith information. If I don't want to display all the columns, then I can specify e name and designation where e name is Smith. Then it will display in that way also. Clear? Then it is just a specification. In this way, we can specify the condition. First is the relational operator greater than, less than, greater than, equal to, less than, equal to, not equal to. We are using in this way also, or you can use in exclamation and equal to symbol also. Let's discuss select star from EMP, this name, and where the employee name is not equal to Smith. Then it will display rest of the things. Rest of the employees except Smith. Either you can use this exclamation and then symbol, or you can use this symbol also, which represents not equal to. The answer remains the same. Clear? Next, relational operator. It is specifying both the condition less than and equal to. If the single condition is satisfying, then also it will display the result. If the equal to is also, if the value is equal to that, then it will search or satisfy both the conditions. Clear? Then is a logical operator when we are combining multiple things. Suppose I have specified where name equal to this and salary should be greater than 50,000 or 40,000. If both the condition matches, only then it will show the result. Suppose if I am specifying salary should be less than 40,000 and name should be Smith. That means both the condition has to be satisfied, only then we will get some result. Or if you want that either of the condition should be satisfied, then you can use or. It is up to you. When is fine specifying greater than. Clear? Then logical operator we have done. Suppose if you want to specify where salary is not, then where salary not equal to not, that we are not using it here. I'll tell you where we can use it. Suppose I have to display the salary where salary is greater than equal to 40,000 and salary is less than equal to 50,000. Then it is displaying in this way also. Or I can specify where salary not, then it will display rest of the things also. Here we can use the not in this way also. Next, between. Suppose here I have fetched the information that salary should be greater than, and then if instead of this, if I have to specify that salary should be between. So between is just to specify the range where salary between. Between 40,000 and 50,000. Either you can use this thing to get the result, or you can use this thing. Both them. Here 40,000 is inclusive and 50,000 is inclusive. Both the values are inclusive. Now you will see how we can check it whether the values of both the things are inclusive or not. For that, first we have to check. Okay, I am just entering it accordingly. 34,000 where salary is, I'm just entering 34,567 or salary is 45650. Okay, it is showing this thing. Okay, I am using star. That will be convenient for you to see the things. Clear? Now, instead of this, I can use between. Where salary between. Between. And rest. Now you can see the result remains the same. Between also included the value which you have specified. That means it is considering the equal to symbol also. If you want to use the not, then you can specify not before any operator. Salary not between. Now next is between we are using where we are specifying the things based on a condition. It always works with the numbers. Next is in. When we are retrieving the things based on the list where salary or where name in. Suppose here I am specifying Smith and Blake. Then it will display only these two elements information. Where I have done select star from where ename in Smith. Achha, that is my fault. Okay, I have to correct it. I just forgot to specify the comma. Either you can specify the in means it is satisfying, or you can specify the condition in this way. Ename equal to or ename equal to Blake. It means we have to display the list where name is Smith or Blake. Either you can specify the condition in this way, command in this way, or you can specify the command in this way. Both the ways are correct. It all depends, because in exam it is not specified that you have to specify the command, write the command in this way only. That is up to you. But if the command is mentioned in this way and you have to find out what you will get as an output, then you have to know the command's meaning. In means we are selecting or we are focusing on only on the list which is specified. That means we are condition based on a list. Display only manager and clerk information from the table. Either you can write in this way or you can write in this way. Display all designation except manager. Then you can write in this way designation not in. Not always used before any operator. Or you can use not equal to in this way or exclamation symbol. Next, like operator. Like operator always goes with the string. Condition based on a pattern matches. That means pattern means match which is with the string. Percentage means where we are focusing where there is a no limit of characters after that. Let's see, to list those employees whose name is starting from M. That means starting from M and after that we don't know how many characters in his name. Then we can use percentage symbol. How we can use select star from EMP where name like this. Or we can specify display employee information where names ends with. So we don't know how many characters before that. We can use it. percentage symbol. There is one more things that we are using with the like operator is underscore. It matches one character at a time. Suppose to list those employees whose name's length is 5, then we can use name like 5 characters. We can use it here also. Suppose if I am specifying where name like starts with S percentage. One more thing, MySQL is a case insensitive language. You can write in any case, then it will give you the result. Suppose here I am writing select start from EMP where ename like you can write in any case percentage E or you can write capital E. It will display you the result also. It is a case insensitive language. You can write in any case. Clear? Here I have specified ends with E. Here I have specified starts with E. Or you can specify how many, only 4 character long. 2, 3, 4. Then it will display that. You don't have to specify 1, then space 2, then 3, because it is a programming. 1, 2, 3, 4. Computer will understand it that you just want to specify. Suppose I just want to specify whether second name should be O, and then after that I don't know how many characters are there. Second letter must be O. So after that use percentage. In that way you can also. Second last character must be something. Then second last character K, and then you can specify something. And before that I don't know, then you can use percentage. In this way you can also use it. Percentage and underscore. At least 4 characters, at least 3 characters. And after that, I don't know how many characters are there. So then specify 1, 2, 3, 4, and then use percentage. That means at least 4 characters must be in the name. Clear? Then you have to use the null operator. Suppose here I am just searching. Question is that you have to find those employees where date of joining is not mentioned. Then how you will find out? So where DOJ is null. The null value always goes with the is operator. You cannot use with the equality. It will give you error. Suppose I'm writing NUNN, then it will not give you any result. Clear? If whenever you are finding anything where DOJ is not null, that means it will find the non-empty values for you. Here, then distinct words where this is the things, because here I have entered the information, all are unique. Now I have to enter one more thing, insert into table name, values. I'm entering one more record. Roger. Then salary. Then designation. Again I am entering manager. Then 2022, then 25, then 15. I've entered one more info. Now the question is that you have to find out what are the different type of designation, different types of designation available in your company. So that means we are focusing on the unique. So then specify distinct designation. That means unique. It will show you only the unique designation that are available in your company. With the select also, we can do the calculation also. 2 into 3. Here I can do the calculation. You can do any type of calculation with this. Now let's move to another all star, or you can use current date and time. We can also use it.